I just cannot figure out what I'm doing. Can't figure out what I'm doing. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I have been very excited to film this video ever since I got the package in the mail. I saw Brianna Fox's video on this palette, and as soon as I watched it, I was like, I need that. I need that right now. So I went and bought it. This is the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette that she did with Morphe. And let me just show you what it looks like, because this palette is so gorgeous. So this is the palette, and I mean, this is stunning. This is such a gorgeous, like, it's so basic. And I don't mean that like in a mean way. This is such a basic, everyday, gorgeous, like neutral palette that is very inexpensive, and I mean, we're gonna see if it's good quality. I'm gonna tell you right now if it is or not. But I also bought I don't think these are new at all, but I wanted to pick them up because my friend, who also is here on YouTube, her name is Alyssa Blends. Go follow her, go watch her videos. She's so amazing, she's so sweet. I always see her using these brushes. These are the Morphe X Aerial brushes. So I bought them because I was like, why not? And like, look at these brushes. It came in this like really gorgeous packaging. Honestly, whenever I see a pack of brushes like this, where I see a whole bunch that I could use all of them, like there's not really one that I wouldn't be able to use, I'm gonna go ahead and pick them up. I got a lot I want to show you guys, so make sure you're comfy, make sure you got a snack, make sure you got a drink, a glass of wine. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to prime my eyes as I normally do with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is a great cream base that really just helps all your shadows stay in place. So I'm actually just gonna go with my finger because my brush is far and I can't be bothered to go and get it. So I'm just gonna use my finger. It just blends right into the skin. So it's pretty hard to go overboard with this. All right, I think I want to do like a spotlight eye and use this poly pigment right in the center, because the pigment goes perfectly with all the shadows that are in this Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. My dog. If you come in, you have to be quiet. Good girl. So I think I'm gonna try to only use the brushes that are in this collection that I bought, because they're all so gorgeous. Like, I can't believe that they're Morphe brushes. No offense, no shade. I don't know if you can buy these as like standalone brushes. What do I want to use first? I think I'm gonna take Good Vibes first, because it's giving me good vibes. So I'm gonna take this shade first. That is the color Good Vibes, and I'm gonna use, so these brushes don't have numbers on them. Oh, they do. This is the A20. A20. And they all just like look like this. It's like a very sleek handle. And the brush is just, it reminds me of Sigma E25. I think that's why I'm using it and I'm being drawn towards it. So I'm gonna go right in with this Good Vibes color. Okay, now a lot of kickback. That's, I mean, not something that I care about, but just in case you wanna know. I'm just gonna, ooh. I'm gonna focus this on the inner and outer. Because like I said, I think I'm gonna do a spotlight eye. So I'm just gonna focus it on basically everywhere except the center of the eye. Oh my God, already this first shade. I wanna put this all over my eyelid. It's looking good so far, guys. Let me just like bring you guys in. Going back in with this shade again. Very, very easy to blend. And these shadows go on and they don't really like disappear, which is amazing. So the next brush I'm gonna take is just this little, looks like a pencil brush. This is the A7. That's what it looks like. And I'm gonna use this brush to take that same Good Vibes color on the inner corner. I just want a little bit more of a precise brush. So I'm gonna pat this on. That's what I'm gonna do first, is just pat and bring it, pat and kind of like drag it towards the center. Wow, these are blending so nicely. I've used one shadow and I'm sold. I haven't, like I said, I haven't tried any of her other palettes with Morphe. So I don't really have anything to base this on other than just other Morphe palettes, which I don't mind Morphe. They're not one that I'm gonna reach for. Like, I don't have a palette in my collection that I'm like, oh, I wanna use that over any other palette. But there's nothing wrong. They're a good, affordable, inexpensive brand. I'm just taking that first brush that I used again to just help blend out the inner corner. So as you guys can see, I'm leaving that center space open just because that's where I want to put the pigment down. And I'm actually gonna go like this and connect them. Very high up though. Still leaving that space open. Okay, so I'm happy with how that looks. I don't know if I want to use Boo Bear or if I want to use Cinnamon Roll. They both look so gorgeous. I think I'm gonna go in with Boo Bear. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm gonna take that same pencil brush, this A7, and I'm gonna put it down right here. Take the other brush, and I'm gonna blend it out. I want to build it up even more, so I'm going to go in again. Oops, sorry. I'm not like going like that by accident. So what I'm doing is I'm just layering these shades. So I'm going to go in on the inner corner now. And I'm going to place. I'm going to take this to blend. This is where I have a hard time, is on the inner corner. I have a hard time getting in there and like blending it out. But so far so good. That looks pretty dang good. What I appreciate too is that the shades aren't all like morphing into each other to just create one like mess on my eyelid. Like, I can see the distinction between each shade. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'm really happy with the way it looks so far. I just am not sure if I want to go in with like one more shade or if I want to leave it like this. There is this Cinnamon Roll color that I'm kind of into. I kind of want to do it. That shade right there. I'm just gonna do it. Oh my god, as I drop the palette. I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna take that pencil brush again, ever so lightly. And truly, just like on the perimeter. I'm gonna put it. You guys see that? Now that is some dimension. Just taking the first brush again to blend. I think I have built up the gradient that I want. And I think for now, we are good to go. Now I want to use this Poly Cosmetics pigment. So what I'm going to use to kind of carve out where I want to put the spotlight, I'm going to use this P. Louise base. This is in the shade Rumor 01. I use this very frequently. It's what I use for my cut creases and for my spotlight eyes. You can use concealer if you want. You can use, you know, the base that you originally used. And so the brush I'm going to use to carve out my crease is, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to use another brush in this set. This is the A19 brush. and it's dual ended, so that's one side. And then it also has a smudger side, and I'm gonna use this side because this looks like a good brush to cut my crease with. I have my P. Louise down, and I'm just gonna put this on the tip of the brush. And I'm just gonna look straight ahead. I'm just gonna drag it down. Making it smaller, like, as I go down. So I'm not being like too precise with this. Okay, so it doesn't look perfect, but you get what I'm trying to do. I just want to give a nice base for this pigment. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. So now, this is the pigment. This is the star of the show here. This is a pigment that Poly Cosmetics sent me. It is in the shade Leo. So all of the pigments that she sent are all zodiac pigments. They're all named after one of the signs. And it is like a very rusty brown pigment, but it has a lot of dimension to it. You see, it has a lot of reflex to it. And this is the color that I'm going to use for the center of the eyelid. I don't know which brush I should use. I think I'm going to try out this one. This is the A18, and it's just like a short flat brush. And I'm just going to put this where I put, oh my gosh, yes! Okay, so the pigment wound up being a lot more darker than I thought it was going to be. It's still like super stunning. Really, really gorgeous. A very nice brown, true brown, gold reflect pigment. So what I did was, before I had a mental breakdown, I took some of the cinnamon roll color, the darkest one that we used, this shade right here. I took that and I kind of built the inner and outer corners of my eye, kind of just to give some more dimension, because I felt like the other colors I had there weren't really dark enough. And then what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take the first brush that we used, this A20, and I'm going to take that Boo Bear color, this one right here. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to go around the perimeter of where we put the pigment down. It's really my own fault. I should have just used my finger, but I used a brush, which probably was my downfall and my demise. So I'm going to take this big fluffy brush. This is an A11 from the same collection, and I'm going to take that Good Vibe shade, the lightest shade we used, and I'm going to just go like this. Use it on the perimeter. And look at that. Looks really great. This is a great pigment. It's like super silky, very easy to work with, and you don't even need a brush to use it. You can just pop it on your finger and then pop it on your eyelid. It's a very like almost olive. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, lashes, brows, base. I'm gonna do it all. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on this palette. So I will see you in a moment. Okay guys, so I am back. My face is completely done. For my lashes, I am using my Molten Arsonist lashes that I always use. These are my all-time favorite lashes. I think they're great. They're $5. They're so worth $5. I have a code with them if you want to use it. It's not an affiliate code. I really only wanted to focus on the eyes for this makeup tutorial, and I really wanted to give you guys a look at what this palette has to offer, this new Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I highly, highly, highly suggest this palette. If you see it, definitely pick it up. I think it's $14. I'll have it somewhere on the screen. I just forget how much it is. Actually, I'll just look it up right now. $18. I totally think that it is worth the money that you spend on it. It's under $20 and you get all of these beautiful shades and they work so seamlessly with each other. Very user-friendly, very easy to work with. I didn't get to play with the shimmer shades today because I wanted to use my Poly Cosmetics pigment that I can't find now. For my final step, I'm going to, of course, bring my birthmark back. And we are all set. If you guys are still watching and have stayed this long, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Make sure you guys hang out, stay a while. We'd love to have you here on this channel. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys show some love. Definitely helps me out and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Definitely go check this palette out. You will not be disappointed. And that is all for today's video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.